guys, and welcome to part 2 of our evolution of LPS video series. Now, you may remember in part 1 we talked about how Kenna evolved into Littlest Pet Shop Generation 1, and we showed you some of the first ever Littlest Pet Shop toys that Kenna produced. If you haven't seen that video, you can watch it on our channel, but today we're going to get right into part 2. Now, please remember, before we start part 2, if you have any questions about this video, you can comment below. But all of our information has been found from verified sources online, which we will include in the description. So if you believe any of this information to be wrong or incorrect, please contact the websites we have listed and don't have a go at us, because we are simply giving you the information that already exists online. Kenna Parker Toys was sold in 1987 to Tonka, the toy company, and then in mid-1991, Tonka was purchased by the toy company Hasbro. In 2004, Hasbro released a new version of Littlest Pet Shop toys, and these are the figures that most people think of today when they think of LPS. And this little Chihuahua figure was figure number 1. Now, the first generation of Hasbro Littlest Pet Shops featured new molds, and they resembled a much more cartoon-like look than the earlier Kenna pets. These Generation 1s did include colour schemes that would typically be found on the pet the figure represented. These pets also all had big bobble heads, except for the fish. But the earliest of the Hasbro line had a pink magnet on the bottom of the animal. So if you look on the bottom of your LPS figure and you see a pink magnet, chances are you may just have a Generation 1 Littlest Pet Shop. It was Sharon John, who was the head of Hasbro's Girls Division Group, who decided to redesign Littlest Pet Shop. She mixed the modern with the traditional. So they decided to give the animals big, vulnerable eyes, which were made popular by Japanese animators. They changed their packaging, but they kept the figures the same size as before, much smaller than most dolls, because they knew that little girls like to collect and carry little things. Now, you may be surprised to hear this, but at first the old customers who collected the Kenna LPS were not happy with the new look, but gradually new fans became avid collectors and the new look was a success. The number range for pets in the first generation of Hasbro's Littlest Pet Shop is from number 1 to number 459. This is number 456, and it was one of the last produced, a Walmart exclusive. One of the last pets produced for Generation 1. In 2007, Hasbro introduced Generation 2. In Gen 2, Hasbro started to have a lot of fun with the eyes of the LPS, where different symbols in their eyes had different meanings and related to different series of pets. For example, diamonds represented fanciest pets, cookies with a bite represented hungriest, and here is an example of all of the eye types and meanings. Chilliest, cuddliest, fanciest, friendliest, funniest, grooviest, Happiest. Hungriest. Littlest. Messiest. Mod. Postcard. Punkiest. Sassiest. And sportiest. So, which collection is your favourite? And which collection would you be? I think I would be friendliest and probably hungriest, but my favourite is fanciest. The Gen 2 pets also had a glossy finish on their eyes instead of the matte look from Generation 1. Some of the latest ones in 2007 didn't have a magnet but a hexagon hole instead, and this was due to magnets being a choking hazard. Except for the birds, who were given a rectangular slot for them to perch on playsets. And here is an example of an authentic Generation 4 pet, and here you can see the hexagon hole under the paw. And here are some more examples of Generation 2 LPS. In 2007, they released the first video game starring LPS, and it was called LPSO. And LPSO was, of course, an acronym for Littlest Pet Shop Online. This was an online world available to you after you bought a stuffed animal with a code. And this is an example of one of the stuffed animals you could buy. Sadly though, after only a year or two, LPSO was shut down. In 2008, Littlest Pet Shop released a new LPS video game available in stores. It was available for the Nintendo Wii, Windows and Nintendo DS. Now this game stayed around a lot longer than LPSO. If any of you had this game, comment below. In 2010, Littlest Pet Shop teamed up with Blythe to sell Littlest Pet Shop and Blythe. Blythe Loves LPS. These pet sets were a huge hit and many of them were sold. And this concludes Generation 2. Well, thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and please comment below. And remember to check out our channel for part 3 coming soon.